So, good morning, y'all. Today, I'm gonna show you how I made an unreleased remix. I wanted to remix Emotional by Flux Pavilion, but I was insanely late because when the original remixes came out, I was probably just a super ass beginner producer, but yeah, I just wanted to give it a go. So I got the stems and made something with it a while ago. I'm just gonna break it down for you how I did the basses and how I did all of these things, and then everything you're gonna hear is gonna be available as a project download on my Patreon. So subscribe if you want to get the project file and learn from the effects and everything. So let's get cracking.
You are no good for me no more. We don't know how to love without a war. We're a disease without a cure. You wanna hurt just a little more. We are casually cruel. You were my training wheels in April Fool, but our tolerance is full. Don't wanna hurt anybody, hurt anyone no more. It's a pity watching your pretty smile so warm. And I am already halfway out the door. You go and kiss me, say you were tipsy, baby, I lose my cool. When I get emotional, I get emotional. You are November in a swimming pool, a speeding car running on fumes. We can drive just a little, more. You are a trampoline with wings. We're only jumping out of tendency, 'cause now we both need different things. So I'll be cutting off these strings.
Yeah, and the rest is basically the same, I think. Maybe it's a little different drums or a little heavier flow.
When I get emotional, I get emotional.
Yeah, almost the same. I think the best way to do this is let's break down the basses first, because that's what everyone wants to know. And then after the basses, I'm going to go through the intro, and then that's it. Let's jump into the drop section here. Let's get started with it. Okay, so the chords are insanely simple. I just used a chord progression. This was like a MIDI loop or something. I knew the track was in B minor, so I wanted to make something in B minor. I could have easily come up with these chords, but you know, when you have a lot of tools and you just want to make something fast, you just throw shit together. So that's what I did. Let me disable the processing so you can hear what it's like before and after, but it's going to be super simple. So I'm just going to use a unison saw with another unison saw an octave higher, and without any effects, it sounds like this. Pretty harsh and loud. These are just two semitone pitch bends. Oh wait, that's the lead, my bad. On the actual chords, I have an OTT to kind of compress everything into a straight line. Then I have two multiband compression presets because this is super fast and efficient. Boosts loudness. It also compresses a little bit, but it's just a super slight effect, so it's nothing too crazy. Then cutting the lows, obviously, because I'm gonna have a separate low end. We keeping it super loud here. And then the other layer is an arpeggiated square arp which without the effects sounds like this. With the effects, same effects by the way. And the arpeggiator 1/24 gives it the speed. And I always like to use converge and diverge instead of up and down, because up and down is kind of basic. And I use the pitch MIDI effect instead of, you know, grabbing the MIDI files. Transposing up 2 octaves, I just use this. That's it, super quick and easy. Okay, so the lead without effects sounds like this. It's actually a peak saw. Why do I want to... I want to speak Hungarian for some reason. So, it's nothing complicated. It's just a saw, 16 unison, then a peak that doesn't even follow the actual key presses. So, it's just a stagnant, boring ass peak, which will be distorted later with this distortion. Set to tube, maximum drive, maximum mix, and then a reverb filter to make it mushy and blurred. And after that, I'm going to use OTT to even out the frequencies. Then using MOTT, which is just a renamed version of multiband compressor. And then I'm going to use this deviate reverb, which is just a super bad quality reverb. Size, smallest, decay, almost the smallest, and then dry wet around 30, and then EQ. And then all together with this beefy sub bass. So for the actual bass lead, I use the same processing. What a surprise. Everything is made from the same thing. But in this case... Okay, to be honest, I don't even know why I made a different channel from this, but I just checked and it's the same as the lead in the chord section, so whatever. I guess I wanted to make it different, but then I just reverted back to the original because it sounded better. And then for the vocals, I usually put an auto-tune on it because I just don't want the chops to be out of key. Every time that I pitch them around and in the sample editor, I just want to, you know, quickly set to a random semitone, and then if I hear the auto-tune struggling, then I'm gonna put it up or down depending on where it's snapping best. But yeah, I just want to work fast. Then a vintage verb set to the now color scheme that just eliminates the background noise that it has, and it's like the most amount of high end from the plugin. And that's basically it for the drop. I have some glitches over here. Also, I wanted to make the drop super stereo, so that's why I have all the stereo layers and basically no like dedicated mono layer. I don't have the lead is also unison, so everything is super stereo. This glitch was leaning towards right and then left, and I wanted to make it a little more even in the stereo field, so I just slapped on this mono compatible stereoizer, which is almost the same thing as dimension expander. So made it more even, pulled it to the center. That's about it, to be honest. The sub bass is a first odd harmonic sub, just 2 sine waves. These 2 sine waves create a sub bass that is hearable on smaller speakers as well. So that's super great because the third harmonic here, or the third bin here, which is the first odd harmonic compared to our fundamental, is the one that's going to be hearable on smaller speakers like Bluetooth speakers and whatever, headphones even. So yeah, as you can see, it looks like a sawed-off square. So you have to aim for a shape like that. I'm going to show you how that looks in Serum. So just grab basic shapes, random all the way down, wavetable editor, turn the phase all the way down, normalization off, bin 1 at 100, bin 3, which is the first odd harmonic, around 40. And this is almost the same thing that I used here with the operator. Yeah, and then I have a pitch envelope, which is like every single time a MIDI is played, it slides down from 39 semitones above throughout this 67.5 milliseconds. It's not an exact number, it's just something that sounded good. But if you want to make it sound better, you just have to cut the highs so it like slides into the EQ every time. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. I get emotional. As far as mixing, I just push everything until it sounds good. That's all. You just gotta trust your ears. You don't have to necessarily use a clipper at the end. If it's loud enough, you don't have to clip it more. On the drop group, I have a soft sine saturator on 100%, but let's dial it back because I noticed some distortion here, so I'm just gonna put it to 70. And then a reverb fill. The reverb fill is a 70-second maxed out vintage verb, which I automated the vet channel of inside this group. So every time I want a reverb throw, I just automate this on the drop group because this contains all the frequencies inside the drop group. So it's gonna sound natural and it's cool. If I turn off the dry channel, it's gonna sound like this. Yeah, pretty cool. Saturator is just here to glue everything together a little bit. It's not doing a whole lot, to be honest. It's just giving the whole drop a little bit of saturation based on the loudness of the sub. So then in the intro and in the breaks, in the more chill sections here, I used an 808 loop, which by default sounds like this. I just cut it up, you know, sampled it, real old school, no effects, just resampled something and just rearranged everything, changed the pitch, added pitch slides. And this is the sub, nothing too crazy, no effects, legit just one thing, nothing else. On the main Vox, I had a tuner to make it faster and make it more digital, but I don't have this VST anymore. I have this vocoder turning on here.
Just a little more. You are a trampoline with wings. Just a little drop, just a little more. You are a trampoline with wings.
You can achieve this Bitspeak-esque sound if you use the vocoder on tracking and you lower the pitch enough. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Then I use OTT to boost the specific vocoder sound. Then I only have a Pro L on the actual vocal because it's already been post-processed, I think.
So I'll be...
Yeah, it has reverb and everything. So it was post-processed. This is the effects version of it from the stems. So I didn't need to do a whole lot. Use these vocal cuts with a lot of reverb and a lot of delay.
I get emotional. You get emotional too. I get emotional.
I also used Cymatics' Deja Vu just because I don't have halftime anymore. So, and Deja Vu is free. So that's Poggers, does the same thing, slows it down.
You are November in the swimming pool. Speed.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the drums. So in the intro and in the trappy bits, I have this trap kick, which is one of my old kicks, I believe. And I have a transient shaper on it. Had a clipper on it too, but it sounded better without the clipper. Let it clip on the master. I don't care.
No good for me no more. We don't.
Just a basic kick drum. And then this Mazzo snap snare-ish thing. I basically use it as a snare, but I think it's actually just a snap. It's just pretty exaggerated because of the OTT and then the frequency shifter. So, and then the transient shaper as well. So yeah, it's nothing too crazy, just a kick and a snare basically. And then I use this tambourine loop plus this 124 BPM top loop. I had the dimension expander thing in here as well. I just don't have that anymore, so I'm just using the mono compatible stereoizer. I use this to fix the issue that when samples have imbalances between left and right channel, or if the phase is totally fucked up. So yeah, drums are that easy. I do have sidechaining on everything, and I want to show you what I use for that because it's pretty fucking insane. This is Borrasca sidechainer. You can get it from his Gumroad. You can set the input to be a kick channel and then you can set it pre-effects, post-effects, and post-mixer. You can set a 10 millisecond fade. You can set the detection settings. It's pretty insane. And then it draws out the kick waveform. So you can set the perfect amount of sidechain every single time, and it re-triggers automatically with the transient of the kick. So you don't have to do anything with it. Just set it up once and then it's good.
Good for me no more. We don't know how to love without a war. We're a disease without a cure.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. If you want to grab these, I'm going to leave a link down below. You can check out my Patreon. I'm going to upload a lot of these types of videos. I'm going to do track from scratch, making XY sound. Just let me know what you guys want to see, and I'm going to do my best to create as many videos as I possibly can. Yeah, just leave your suggestions down below. I'm going to get on working with YouTube and Patreon, and let's get the ball rolling. Challenge me, boys. I'm all up for it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out my website for a lot of high quality Serum and Vital presets and drum samples. You can also support me on Patreon, where I upload bass music specific tutorial content every single month. Peace.